it's the Lawn Gnome, and welcome to your newest episode of my DCAU updates. If you are joining me for the first time, first of all, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you, and if you're coming back, I am really excited to talk to you guys today about a very interesting addition to this little film library. First of all, one of the few things that I didn't actually go over since I started doing DC updates in 2017 was the fact that this year marks the 10th anniversary of the beginning of this library. In 2007 was Superman Doomsday. And today, while I would consider this the 29th film in this library because I think that Batman The Dark Knight Returns Parts 1 and 2 are really one whole movie, and you can thank the deluxe edition for that, this one, for the true faithful, is the 30th film in this library. Bruce Timm is now back on board producing again, and this movie is a true fan service to those who grew up with Batman the Animated Series and the rest of the DC animated universe on television, and that, of course, is Batman and Harley Quinn. This, of course, stars Lauren Lester, voicing Nightwing, who is also Robin in Batman the Animated Series, the great Kevin Conroy, Paget Brewster returning to voice Poison Ivy, Kevin Michael Richardson as the Floronic Man, and newcomer to the scene from The Big Bang Theory, you know her as Bernadette, that is Melissa Rauch, voicing Harley Quinn. So, in this little story, we have Poison Ivy teaming up with the Floronic Man to create a chemical component that will turn the entire world and every creature living in it into one major greenhouse. Everything is going to become plants. And of course, Batman is on the scene along with Nightwing, and they're not too happy with this little plan, and they feel that the only way to really tear this operation down from the inside is to go and take a look at one of Poison Ivy's nearest and dearest old friends, and that, of course, is Harley Quinn, who has officially gotten out of Arkham Asylum, no longer in contact with the Joker, and trying to become a member of society. But as they always say, you can take the kid out of the supervillain, but you can't take the supervillain out of the kid. So, what is this movie really like? Well, if you're looking for an extremely deep and extremely dramatic film like you got from almost all of the other previous films, you are not going to find it here. What you are going to find is what would have happened if the DC animated universe grew up along with its audience. You get a movie that is exciting, you get a movie that is fun, you get a movie that is extremely hilarious, even has a couple of disturbing crude humor moments, which I think fit just perfectly into this story, but to some it would be a little bit hard to adjust because you've never seen these characters in this kind of a light. There's also so much fan service to fans of the Bruce Timm animated world because you get so many nods to classic Batman animated series stuff, and they're scattered all throughout the film, and every single time you see one, your heart is just filled with nostalgia. So if you haven't figured out, I thought that this movie was going to be a tremendous disappointment, and while it's not perfect, I think that it was so much fun. I had so much fun watching it. It's a great film. It's tons of fun. It's something that I, as a Batman animated series fan and a DCAU fan, can totally appreciate. There's even a little nod to the Justice League series, which I thought was done in exquisite taste. The chemistry between the characters is fantastic. Batman, as Kevin Conroy voicing him, we all know what he's like, but I think that there was a little extra dimension in this character version of Batman, and it really played off well. I was very, very surprised. I was also so happy to see Lauren Lester reprising his role as Nightwing. I think he had some of the best lines alongside Harley Quinn, and it was just tons of fun. That's pretty much where this review will go. It's got a couple of things that I really didn't like, but they're more good than bad in this movie. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the ending, along with a really big surprise that actually takes place. Well, not necessarily surprised. I actually thought it was quite predictable. I knew it was going to happen, but what I didn't expect was the whole thing to go all Studio Ghibli on me, and that's basically as far as I'm going to go without spoiling this movie. But I would say that Batman and Harley Quinn is a great addition to this library. It's a fun addition to the collection. I've got it already. movie. I loved watching it. And with this movie gone, I'm really curious to see where we're going to go from here, because they've already announced the next 4 films. One of them is actually going to be a 2-parter, and we haven't seen one of those since Batman The Dark Knight Returns. But the next film is going to be very exciting, because we're going to see Batman in a light that I think some of us have always wanted, especially if we hadn't read the comics. But a little tease, you're going to see a steampunk version of Batman in the next film in this library. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please put your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Batman and Harley Quinn. And I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.